We all know in our culture of perfection and airbrushed beauty ads that what you look like can determine your fate, from finding a mate, making friends, to getting a job. But for people living with albinism, there is no hiding or, short of an extreme makeover, changing how they look. And some pay the consequences. Juju Chang has the emotional story you have never heard until now.
As Wall Street melted down last fall, the expressions in these photos of Ned Zelis, a traitor, were published in newspapers. But it wasn't about the stock market. It turns out he was devastated by his wife's news about the diagnosis of his baby girl.
Megan told me at work over the phone. And it was, it's a bit of a shock because you never want to see anything happen to your daughter. But, she was just so innocent. And the way she described it, it wasn't anything I could fix.
Baby Regan is now just over a year old. She has two adoring older sisters. Even though the entire family is fair-haired and light-skinned, Ned and his wife Megan couldn't shake a nagging suspicion when it came to Regan.
Hi. When did it occur to you that, maybe something's a little different?
When she was born, I looked at her, I could see her hair, and just the color seemed off.
Do you think you didn't see anything or that you didn't want to see anything?
I think it was a combination of both.
Regan was so fair she had almost an allergic reaction to the sun. And something about her eyes made them take her to a pediatric ophthalmologist.
He dilated her eyes and looked, and he said, listen, she is going to be legally blind. She probably will never be able to drive. He gave me a lot of the worst case scenarios.
Regan has albinism, or as it's more commonly known, she's an albino. The Zelises would learn that albinism is a genetic mutation where the body produces little or no pigment in the skin, eyes, and hair. Two recessive genes are the culprits, one from each parent. Albinism cuts across the animal kingdom. And in humans, it's found in every ethnicity, in every corner of the world.
My name is Kenyon Flowers. I'm 10 years old, and I live in Illinois.
And I'm his twin brother, Kari.
You can just imagine the great surprise that met Kenyon and Kari's birth.
Oh.
They are fraternal twins, born only 25 minutes apart. But Kenyon has albinism, so in many ways, it separates him from his brother by an eternity.
Is it good? Is it what you got?
My family's skin color, probably like chocolate. For me, when people say what color are you, I say banana and vanilla mixed, Bavella.
Would you ever want to be brown?
I don't know if I look good in brown. I don't really know.
Kenyon says he remembers clearly the first time he noticed the vanilla chocolate difference between him and his family.
I was with my mom when she was carrying me. I saw my arm, like I was holding on to her.
And what'd you think?
Wow.
A typical response when anyone sees the Flowers family for the first time. They are constantly reminded that one of them is not quite like the others.
When Kenyon, I think he was maybe 2, we were in a store and he picked up a toy he wanted. I said, no toys. I put it back. There was an older lady shopping, watching me. And then I see security coming. And this lady's like, this black man's trying to take this little white boy outside. The security guy come up, he's like, put the little boy down. I'm like, this is my son. Well, you got proof it's your son. No, that's my wife, there's my other son. You touch me, you leave me alone, or I'm gonna tear this whole store apart.
When people ask questions like, are you really his brother? It makes me feel obnoxious. I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to answer to that. Because I am his brother, just that I'm lighter and they don't understand it.
I heard people call him albino, a freak, idiot, retard, all kind of names. When I hear those names, I just fight back and say, what happens if you were him?
In spite of their differences, or perhaps because of them, Kenyon and Kari have a unique bond.
Hey! He's awesome, cool, good brother to have, and most of all, he's the best.
Kenyon and I are like as close as glue on paper. Sometimes I think he's the second part of my heart.
At just 10 years old, these boys have already learned about the importance of looks and the shortage of tolerance. Kenyon's albinism does set him apart from most 10-year-olds because he's legally blind.
I kind of wish I could see better, because I can't see people from far away, because I think they just disappeared.
Kari has become his brother's keeper because of it.
Usually when he follows me to the park, I have to watch him in the street, and also when he's at school crying, I had to go see what's wrong, and then whoever hurt his feelings, here comes me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Kenyon is the first student with albinism to ever attend his elementary school.
Knows how to spell Lundal now.
To help things along, the school purchased special equipment to help him see the material.
Make sure you indent all of your work, your very first sentence.
He also has an aide by his side the whole day to make sure he absorbs the lesson plan. Altogether, there are 8 specialists who work with Kenyon over the course of a week. But once recess comes around, the divide between the Flowers brothers becomes more dramatic. Kari, the athlete, is outside playing football. Kenyon's vision makes sports tough, so he and his friends have completely different plans. Lunch bunch.
It's a thing where we just talk, and it's like more quieter than there. It's just sometimes where we talk.
It's like
With her.
professional.
We eat lunch together.
Professional with food.
Fun.
What are we going to talk about?
The most popular topic these days, Kenyon's racial identity.
About albinism, have you ever, what have you said to them? Like, why are you white instead of black? What have you, said to them?
It's because I have albinism. I can tell you about it, but just don't call me white again, because I am not. I'm black. Some people call me pale, which I'm not.
And I know with you, Kenyon, you may look like white, but almost like if you look in a shadow and at your skin, it might almost look like a little bit, almost like a regular person's skin a bit.
He's a regular person now.
Finding acceptance with friends is hard, but there is something else Kenyon finds even more challenging.
Having a love life for me, it's hard. Really hard and harsh. I like girls. They said, I don't like you, I just like you as a friend. Maybe they just think I'm not cute enough, which I am, but they just don't see it. They rather see some guy who's big, gigantic, strong, who plays football, instead of just, a kid with albinism and takes taekwondo. It's really heartbreaking.